No, absolutely not. Let me add to what has been already shared by way of the media statement this morning. What had happened was one of our Muslim committee members in one of the mosques in Aljunied wanted to speak to Mr. Faisal and to the Malay members of the party. And what happened was the meeting was supposed to take place with some ustazas and senior Malay-Muslim religious leaders. There was no indication that this individual would be joining the meeting. So when the meeting started, he was there. And my understanding is he had this list of demands. And of course, as our statement makes it quite clear, there's no situation of if the WP pushes forward this agenda, I will support you. I'm sorry, we don't work politics like that in Singapore. We don't work politics like that in the Workers' Party. People have views. I think government officials, even ministers meet with various members of religious groups in Singapore. So do we. And if this gentleman thinks that his advocacy will lead to the issues being brought up by the Workers' Party, I think he's sadly mistaken.
Given that there will be sensitive issues being raised, how will the Workers' Party straddle that line, not mixing religion and politics? Especially, how do you think this latest development will perhaps affect the sensitivity in Tampines, where, as my colleague had said, it is framed as this fight between Mr. Faisal and Mr. Faisal?
I understand. Well, as I have alluded to in earlier doorstops, Faisal is a representative of the Malay-Muslim community. He is contesting in Tampines. I think the mainstream media have already highlighted the number of Malay voters in Tampines. But quite frankly, Faisal is not, or none of our Malay-Muslim candidates are MPs or will be MPs or are candidates for only their community. I mean, this is Singapore, it's a multiracial society, so every candidate has to represent all Singaporeans equally and fairly. And beyond that, this is our approach that we take. Insofar as the strategy to place candidates, I think that's our prerogative, where we want to put our team, which has the highest chance of success. And if the illusion is we have put Faisal there, that's something wrong that we've done, I don't accept that.
Mr. Singh, there are also politicians from Malaysia expressing support for WP candidates, especially the Malay candidates. What's WP stance on that?
I think the Ministry of Home Affairs and ELD have put together a message, and I stand behind that message. Our political scene is for our people. We persuade Singaporeans of our value proposition, and we urge all Singaporeans, regardless of race, language or religion, to judge us on our manifesto and our proposals and what we do in Parliament for all Singaporeans, not specific communities only. I think once we go down that road, you're going to have an unnecessary politicization of the public space, and we don't want that. That's not healthy for Singapore, and that's not healthy for our minority communities as well.
Noor Deros on his Facebook actually endorsed Mr. Manak for companies. What is WP's views on this?
I cannot control endorsements from any Singaporean for the Workers' Party. But if he thinks that endorsement means we will carry his views and we share his sentiments, he's sadly mistaken.
Again, in terms of the business, how will you straddle the line? Certain issues that
I beg your pardon, Afifa, you actually asked that question earlier. These issues have to be handled with sensitively and thoughtfully, more than sensitively, thoughtfully. I mean, I've always shared with people, I didn't choose to be born an Indian. This is how it happened. Likewise for a Singaporean of any other faith, any other background, any other ethnic group. So I think we've got to put ourselves in the shoes of our fellow brother and sister, our fellow citizens. How would we feel if somebody played this sort of card? I don't think that's a Singapore we want. And I don't think many of us would be proud of that Singapore if we go down that road. So I think we handle it thoughtfully, sensitively, and remind ourselves that we are a multiracial society, and it's not just something we say for the sake of it. We must mean it. And the truth also is there are elements of religion in our public life. I mean, when we take the oath in Parliament, some members take the oath on the Bible. There is also Section 152 of the Constitution. We accept that. But in spite of that firmament, I think we all accept that we have to handle race and religion issues thoughtfully, sensitively, and with a care for one another. Janice.
Yeah, Janice from the Business Times. I know WP has made a statement, but there seems to be some concerns among potential WP voters that these lines could be played out with the history. I've seen seen some comments, people talking about Alia's because she brought up the issue of Gaza during her rally speech on Thursday. So how will you address these concerns by potential WP voters, who are worried that this is being played out?
Yeah. I'm not surprised there would be elements who are not in favor of the Workers' Party who would want to cast aspersions on what we have advanced in our manifesto. It's not just Alia's view. I remember the Workers' Party has a position on Palestine. We have a view on the two-state solution. We have a view on how peace should come to that region. Many Singaporeans, regardless of race and religion, are very sensitive to that issue. And our approach is more of a humanitarian concern. And we have a view that it is important for a two-state solution to be advanced. And we have advanced in the manifesto how we think that would come about. Insofar as picking on certain of our candidates, I think this is par for the political battle. We have to be ready for it. But Singaporeans know us. Singaporeans should be aware of the Workers' Party. We cannot be a successful political party if we play the race and religion card. Our approach is pan-Singaporean, all races, all religion. This is what we advance to you. And we will be fair to everybody. And we will listen to everybody's views. And you can also understand there's a diversity of views in Singapore now. Always has been. More so now with social media. But I think if we are committed to handle it thoughtfully, sensitively, and within the context of our multiracial society, we'll be okay.
Mr. Singh, we are only halfway through the campaign. We
Yes.
have 5 more days. Do you
Yes.
think such incident will affect the campaign?
Well, look, we are an opposition party. We have to be ready for all eventualities. And I know this is, if it's not this, it'll be another issue. If it's not this issue, it'll be about abandoning voters, which I think Mr. Tan Singh was given a piece of by the media today. But that's how it is. It's politics, it's campaign period. Many other issues may come up. We'll deal with them as they come along. Hold on, let me try and address other journalists. Kovan, yes.
I just want to ask you more broadly on the tone of campaigning day for day.
Yes.
Are you my impression is that you kind of are pulling punches, you kind sort of positive campaigning, and even when the Prime Minister says something, you kind of say that that's your point of view, and there isn't much, even from the point of view of the PAP, they seem to be pulling punches. That's my impression.
I think it is a reflection of the sensible politics we want in our country. I mean, if the Prime Minister is, he's completely entitled to say whatever he wants and advance the position of his political party. Now, if there is an overlap, if I consider that to be a sensible statement, if the party thinks, yes, we can agree with the Prime Minister on that, I don't think we should be shy about admitting to it and about conceding it even. But where we disagree, we will make it clear. I believe we've had one rally already where we have quite clear differences of views publicly expressed. We have another rally today in Tampines. I'm looking forward to it. And you will hear the differences which really are decanted from our manifesto.
Mr. Singh, sorry, I have a question.
Yes.
So Minister Masagos from Tampines GRC mentioned that his team actually mentioned that you guys were focusing for changes more on the parliamentary level and not on the ground level.
Yes.
And they also mentioned that they have a 5-year plan
Yes.
and WP does not have
Yes.
that. So your thoughts on that, sir?
Well, certainly when you're not in charge of the town council, when you're not in charge of the People's Association, grassroots organizations, your first approach, and this is what I've shared in GE 2020 in Sengkang as well, and it will be the same for other constituencies. First order of business, listen to the residents. What do they want? They have been in Tampines, and work has been done in Tampines. You can't take away the work that has been done by people who've come before you, the same way as we can't take away the work that had been done by the PAP team in our unit before 2011. First order of business, understand what is the need on the ground. Thereafter, look at ways the ground can be improved. And this is what the Sengkang team did. I believe I also made known to the press that they were very aggressive in pushing for upgrading programs with CIPC funding. And they got quite a significant chunk of funding. And so similarly, that will be the approach. Then there is, of course, the idea of local improvements, local communities which need support and help. And I would rather teams, instead of making empty promises as the non-incumbents, to dig their roots into the constituency and understand the constituency better before making promises they can't keep. Yes. Yes, sir. I didn't get your name, sorry. Sorry, what's your name? Amirul.
So would you consider this David versus Goliath matchup with regards to the credentials of your team here and as well as the history of the WP in this constituency?
Well, if you are suggesting that Goliath is the PAP, you're absolutely right. The reality is we are the opposition party. We don't have the government firmament behind us to drive certain things. But in spite of that, the demand for a more balanced political system is real. And I think we have to play our part to rise up, step up to the occasion, and put forward a good proposal, put forward a good team who can lead constituencies and who can speak fearlessly and frankly for all the constituents who vote us into Parliament.
Mr. Singh, in PAP's party political broadcast last night, Mr. Lawrence Wong talked about the external geopolitical conditions, the
Yes.
trade war,
Yes.
tariffs, and
Yes.
he talks about forming the government as an existential question.
Yes.
So do you think he seems to be kind of playing it up, for voters who are looking for stability? Is he fear mongering? If you think he is not, do you think WP will be able to have the expertise to come up with the necessary policy suggestions to deal with these external geopolitical conditions that Singaporeans might be subject to?
Well, I addressed this issue in my first rally speech, and it wasn't a coincidence that I brought up the tariffs and the trade issue in my first rally speech. Insofar as the questions that pertain to Mr. Lawrence Wong, you probably want to ask him whether he is fear-mongering or not. I can't answer for him. But what I would say is we are contesting this election with 26 candidates. We are not going to form government, but we want a robust, rational, responsible, respectable opposition presence in Parliament. And we will campaign hard for it. But my plea to Singaporeans is understand every vote is critical. There are no safe seats for the opposition, absolutely none. And so each vote counts, and I hope you think carefully and cast your vote for a more balanced political system where diversity is recognized in Parliament and where everybody is proud to stand up and say our views are well represented in Parliament. Yes.
Yesterday, Senior Minister Lee made a surprise
Yes.
appearance
Yes.
at the PAP. What are your thoughts on that regarding his
I don't know, maybe he saw Mr. Loh Tia Kiang in the morning as well, and so he decided he also should lend his support to the Aljunied team. Sorry, what's your name? Kayla, nice to meet you, Kayla.
My question is about Hougang exactly. So
Yes.
you mentioned that Hougang voters are fighters.
Yes.
And they've been fighting for 34 years.
Yes.
What will be the WP vision for Hougang so that the voters will continue to carry on this fight?
Well, the WP vision is the vision as has been laid out for the last 30 years, or more than 30 years in Hougang. And I think it's important that Hougang voters realize we're not taking them for granted. There are no done deals, as I said. But wherever we go, we promise to serve them from our heart and to represent them faithfully in Parliament. Okay, thank you. If there are no further questions, I'd like to thank the media for coming today, and I appreciate it's a rather hot day, so please hydrate yourself as well. Thank you so much. Thank you.